It's a curious paradox. Intelligence, often seen as the ultimate advantage in navigating life, frequently becomes a burden that leads to hesitation, overanalysis, and inaction. Why is it that those with sharp minds and deep insights often find themselves stuck in cycles of endless thinking while others, perhaps less gifted intellectually, charge forward and achieve more? This is not a rare occurrence, but a well-documented pattern that stretches from the days of Socrates to modern psychology. Intelligence, for all its benefits, carries hidden challenges that can make decision-making, risk-taking, and action far more difficult than they should be. The double-edged sword of intelligence. At its core, intelligence allows individuals to perceive multiple angles of a situation, anticipate challenges, and deconstruct ideas with remarkable ease. However, this very ability can also become a mental trap. When one can see all the possible risks and negative outcomes, action becomes daunting. The mind gets caught in an endless loop of what-ifs, overthinking every possibility and fearing every flaw in a plan. While some people act based on instinct and simple reasoning, the highly intelligent person hesitates. They search for perfect solutions, often refusing to proceed unless they can eliminate all potential downsides, a standard that is nearly impossible to meet. This phenomenon isn't merely a personality trait, it's a cognitive pattern observed throughout history. Socrates himself warned about the dangers of excessive self-questioning, and modern psychology has linked intelligence to anxiety, perfectionism, and even procrastination. The greatest challenge for intelligent people isn't the external world, it's their own mind. Their keen awareness of complexity makes them doubt simple steps forward. Their fear of failure can outweigh their drive to attempt. And so, despite their mental gifts, many remain trapped in a cycle of thinking, reflecting, and analyzing, without ever fully engaging with life. The trap of overanalysis. When thinking becomes an obstacle, one of the most common struggles among highly intelligent people is paralysis by analysis. This occurs when an individual overthinks a decision to the point of inaction. Rather than moving forward with a plan, they get caught in an endless loop of weighing pros and cons, predicting obstacles, and imagining worst-case scenarios. The sharper the mind, the more possibilities it sees. What should be a straightforward decision, starting a project, making a career move, or even sending a message, turns into a battlefield of indecision. Each choice appears flawed, each risk too high. As a result, they delay, waiting for a perfect moment or a flawless solution that never arrives. This hesitation stems from an innate ability to foresee multiple potential outcomes. While this skill can be advantageous in strategic thinking, it also makes action feel incredibly high stakes. The more they analyze, the more uncertain they become. The result? Perfectionism. The belief that if something cannot be done flawlessly, it isn't worth doing at all. This mindset breeds procrastination, self-doubt, and frustration. Intelligent individuals often hold themselves to impossible standards, constantly refining their plans but never executing them. Writers spend years crafting manuscripts they never submit. Artists hesitate to share their work, fearing it isn't good enough. Entrepreneurs endlessly tweak their ideas instead of launching, paralyzed by the fear of criticism or failure. Ironically, in their quest to avoid imperfection, they achieve nothing at all. The overstimulation of the intellectual mind. Another challenge highly intelligent individuals face is an addiction to thinking rather than doing. Ideas stimulate the mind, offering immediate satisfaction without requiring real-world risk. Reading, analyzing, and theorizing feel productive. They create an illusion of progress. But without action, even the most profound insights remain abstract, detached from reality. The mind becomes a self-sustaining loop, constantly absorbing new information but never putting it to the test. This is why many brilliant individuals spend their lives consuming books, podcasts, and lectures on success, psychology, or philosophy, without ever applying what they learn. The issue is that thinking provides instant gratification, whereas execution is slow, frustrating, and often painful. Learning about business strategy creates a sense of advancement, but starting an actual business requires uncertainty, failure, and persistence. Reading about fitness gives the illusion of self-improvement, but committing to regular workouts and diet changes is far harder. Because the intelligent mind craves efficiency and control, it avoids messy, unpredictable action. But this reluctance to engage with the real world results in a dangerous imbalance, where knowledge replaces experience. A person may understand confidence theoretically, but still struggle with social anxiety because they never push themselves into uncomfortable interactions. Someone may grasp every productivity framework, yet remain stuck in procrastination because they never take the first step. As Carl Jung put it, "You are not what you know, but what you do." Without action, knowledge is empty, a comforting illusion rather than a tool for transformation. Fear of failure, the silent saboteur. One of the greatest struggles for intelligent individuals is the fear of failure. Not just external failure, but a deep-seated fear of falling short of their own impossibly high expectations. They are often their own harshest critics, setting standards so high that any mistake feels unacceptable. As a result, many choose avoidance. Rather than risk failing, they delay, over-prepare, or never try at all. This fear is compounded by the paradox of choice. The more aware they are of their potential, the more overwhelming their sense of possibility becomes. They believe they could succeed in multiple fields, which ironically makes it harder to commit to just one. The more options they see, the more they fear choosing the wrong one. And so they remain stuck, endlessly searching for the perfect direction before taking meaningful action. The irony is that those who are less obsessed with making the right choice often succeed simply because they make a choice and move forward. Meanwhile, the intelligent person remains trapped in hypothetical scenarios, never fully experiencing any of them, breaking the cycle from overthinking to action. Intelligence is only an asset if it leads to action. Otherwise, it becomes just another reason to remain paralyzed. So how can one break free from this cycle of hesitation, self-doubt, and endless overanalysis? The key is to embrace imperfect action, understanding that progress is always better than perfection. No decision will ever be risk-free, and no path will be without setbacks. Taking action despite uncertainty and refining along the way is essential. Failure should be reframed as learning. Instead of seeing mistakes as a sign of incompetence, they must be viewed as necessary steps toward mastery. Every expert was once an amateur who started before they felt ready. Another crucial step is limiting overconsumption of information. Knowledge without action is useless, and one must set a rule to apply real-world steps for every book read or concept learned. It's also important to commit to a path and adapt as needed. Stop searching for the perfect choice, move forward, and adjust along the way because momentum builds confidence. Recognizing that thinking won't eliminate fear is vital. The mind exaggerates the risks of failure, but the real cost of inaction is regret. Fear dissipates through experience, not endless contemplation. The measure of intelligence is not just in how well one thinks, but in how courageously one acts. Knowledge is a powerful tool, but it must be wielded. Otherwise, it becomes a cage. In the end, action, not thought, leads to mastery. The real challenge for intelligent minds is not accumulating more insights, but daring to step forward into the unknown. After all, as the Stoics taught, we suffer more in imagination than in reality.